Hi everyone, this is Waldorf,
And this is Statler,
and this is a game I played at our local club with a clubmate of ours, Kingdom of Equitaine.
and not my Kingdom Equitaine army.
Not your Kingdom of Equitaine army. There's
It's funny. I think there's like 6 people that have Kingdom of Equitaine
in the local
in
groups.
the local groups.
Kind of scary.
Yeah.
This guy happens to play them quite a bit, though,
Yes, he does.
as opposed to everyone else. um, so anyway, this is his army, Kingdom of Equitaine. He's got the Duke with a Blessed Sword, Armor Percival, Duskstone, and Virtue of Renown. Paladin BSB with the Oriflame, Hardened Shield, Virtue of Humility. Level 2 Damsel of Nature with the Talisman of Roland, and he took the MR1 option. Another level 2 Damsel of Nature with the Spell Scroll in the MR1, and a Paladin with the Flaming Lance.
Oh, I didn't realize you were still playing nature. Oh.
Yeah, he's still playing Nature. Not 100% sold on it, but he likes it.
Mm-hmm.
2 units of 14 Knights of the Realm. Those are big units.
Yep.
2 units of 5 Yeoman Outriders.
It's all about the combat res.
3 Peg Knights. 2 units of Grail Knights. 1 of 8 and 1 of 7. So it's a pretty solid army. A lot of knights. 28, 35. What's that? 43. It's a lot of knights.
Yeah, it's a lot of knights.
And none of the cheaper knights. What are the
Knights aspirant.
aspirant?
And his characters aren't exactly
And his characters aren't
particularly,
loaded down.
he
With
doesn't have
back.
like loaded dukes or anything like that.
Correct.
Really.
And only 1 Duke,
Yeah.
not 2 of
Mm-hmm.
them. So I rolled my spells. I got still running the Wizarding Hood.
How can you not?
Lore of Heavens. I got Thunderbolt and Blizzard. I forgot the other spell I actually rolled and swapped it down to Blizzard because Blizzard's an awesome spell. And of course, the attribute is the second seal, where you get the extra thing.
Which is,
My Goblin took the itching and scratching, minus D3 initiative and movement, and fix it up, which makes the opponent reroll all 6s.
right.
And took the second seal as well as the lore attribute for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that second seal is a fantastic lore attribute.
No, it's a very nice lore attribute.
But here's our table. You can see we had I actually brought these buildings in to show him, and that's why we have quite a bit of village sitting out here.
And he bought it right after the game.
And then he bought those together for me. So we rolled off the random scenario, and we got the one where it's control 2 objectives. I placed mine square in the center. You can't see it, but he placed an objective over here, right behind this building.
Okay.
Going over here on the far left, you can see his unit of Grail Knights, one of his big Knights of the Realm units, the Peasants, what are they called again?
Mounted Yeoman.
Mounted Yeoman, Peg Knights behind it, another unit of Grail Knights, the other big unit of Knights of the Realm, and 5 more Mounted Yeomen. Again, I wanted to go first because I wanted to shoot. So I just dropped my entire army, let him deploy, and that's what we get.
You're probably going to go first anyway, but...
Probably, but I like to go first, especially when I need to shoot something.
Right, but you can't guarantee it with the new Kingdom of Equitaine.
What's that?
You can't guarantee
Correct.
that he won't try to, game it.
To mess with me.
Although you have a lot of strength 5 in your army, so it's kind of
I do. It's kind of given that he's going to do it.
kind of need the blessing, yeah.
So you can see my Spider Riders are scouted out here. There we go. Just wonder why that's. His Grail Knight's poked over there in the corner. I vanguarded up to here. He chose not to vanguard. And there's the rest of my army. So, moving on. Turn 1. My spider moved up, and if you notice right here, there's the guys, and they are out of line of sight.
Yes.
So my spider's nice and safe here. And then for See, there he is. Nice, plain, safe. I took these pictures and then I said, you know what? I got a question for you. What were these knights up here again? These black knights up here again? And of course he says, oh, those are Grail knights. And I'm looking and I was like, oh, they can see me. So I thought I'd be smart, and I'll show you, but it'll show up in a picture later. So I said, okay, well, I don't want to get charged by them on the first turn, so I moved the spider back a little bit. Otherwise, moved my spider riders up here where they can shoot at the guys on the hill. Nice shot at that. And the goblins ran and jumped in this building. Because I figure I got a BSB. I've got a BSB and a champion in there. BSB is a fairly decent fighter. He's not going to want to come mess with me. It's not. Kingdom of Equitaine guys don't like to get off their horses.
No, yeah.
So I'm counting on him not
Losing
wanting
2 off of your armor is not a fun thing.
Yeah, I'm just counting on him not coming in after me.
Mm-hmm.
He probably could have done it anyway, but
yeah,
I'm counting on him not
and
wanting to.
He has other targets for his trebuchets. So.
Right. So anyway, so I double debuff this unit just to throw spells and gain the counters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's what I was talking about earlier. I backed up this spider to stay out of range of that black unit, but I completely forgot why I had moved it so far forward, and that was to get out of arc of the red guys. And when I moved it back, I did not even take them into
You
consideration.
have to remember at our age, you got to take your vitamins.
I don't, and and he asked me, he said, "Can this unit see the spider?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "Well, I'm going to charge you." I'm like, "Yeah." He needed a 10 to get in. He was 18 inches away, but he rolled it.
Yeah.
Which is not, 10 is not that bad. And had I paid attention, I could have shifted off to the right a couple of inches, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't pay attention. And
Yeah.
as soon as I saw him roll this 10, I said, "Oh, this is great. I just lost this game."
Well, at least there's only 7 of them.
There is only 7 of them. I've got that going for me. That is true. So there's another shot of him hitting me in the flank. Otherwise, his mounted yeomen move up just to chaff me off.
Trying to redirect your
Yeah.
boys.
The boar boys. Fires a couple shots into the Nashers, kills a couple. And the 7 apparently is enough.
So they came so fast, they actually went under the spider and lifted him up.
They flipped him up, flopped him over, and threw him on top of the...
Stabbed him in his belly.
When he flipped over and landed, he landed right in front of these boars down here to the right. And you can see them fleeing because they were scared. They were and lost one in the woods, by the way.
Yeah.
They were counting on that spider helping them out, and the spider is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Terrible first turn. I don't know. Anyway, I really hate when I do something really stupid like that.
At least it wasn't a tournament game.
You got that. That's true.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
And you got your spider out of the way, because the one thing Kingdom of Equitaine's good at is killing monsters. So
That's true. So I've got that going for me.
You don't have to worry about that anymore. Cleared the slate from that.
Cleared the slate. So, turn 2, you can see my boar riders charged into these guys just to clear them off. My grotlings moved over here, facing to the left, so that way if the Grail Knights charge, they can't get to the front of the unit of the Nasher herd.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the front, we checked. And if he hits these guys, then he'll be heading off across their frontage.
Sure.
So I'm okay with it. It all looks good to me. Except for the fact I've already lost this game. Anyway. And you can see these guys, my boar riders, of course, blew through the mounted yeoman and moved forward. On his turn, he charged him with this big unit of Knights of the Realm on the hill, so I fled. I did not flee very far,
Yeah.
but I did flee. Got that going for me. But then he charged him again with the Peg Knights, and they continued to flee into the woods, where they lost one promptly. He redirected the big unit of Knights of the Realm into the Grotlings, and he sent the Peg Knights into the Nasher herd. Oops, sorry.
Other way around.
Other way around. No.
That's a Grail Knights.
The other guys just took the failed charge.
Okay.
Um,
So where did they go?
yeah, the other guys just took the failed charge, and the Grail Knights came into the.
Was he hoping to catch him, maybe?
I think he was just wanting to get out there in the middle of the field because
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to get them in the way of one of these
Sure,
two
sure.
units. And you can see is
And the other Grail
the
Knights.
other Grail Knights decide they can mop up a get launcher fairly easily,
Yeah.
which turns out to be true.
Yeah. Well.
And you can see the guys on the hill took the failed charge and just plopped down a couple
Right.
inches off
Got
the
to be
hill.
happy if you got those guys fighting the Git launcher.
Yeah. Nice close up of the armies. And you can see they've blown through the Grotlings
Mm-hmm.
and are into the. Oh, sorry. At this point, he's killed the Grotlings, overrun into the Squig Herd, and killed the Squig Herd. And the Squig Herd's just been picked up and moved off to the
Looks
side.
like he's missing some
and you
knights.
can see there's 5 knights missing out of that
Mhm.
unit. So they were. The Grotlings were. I'm sorry.
Nashers.
The Nashers were fairly effective at killing
Yeah.
knights.
So he failed his armor and his ward save. So.
Yes. And the other Grail Knights have cleaned up the
Right.
Get launcher. Not a question there. On my turn, I've charged my Goblin Chariot into his Peg Knights. I don't think I can win this fight, but I think I
Mhm.
can kill 2 of them. I think I can put 4 wounds on them. Right?
Maybe.
Off to the right, you can see other stuff just kind of deploying around. I've still got my chaff trolls
What'd you cast on the big?
hanging around.
Wedge
It's
buck?
still the minus
Okay.
movement initiative.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a good spell choice in this.
Right.
I've got the Blizzard -1 to hit, which I'm trying, and he's shutting that one down
Mm-hmm.
because that's really the only spell I have that he's worried about.
Leadership. Yeah.
He's not thrilled about the Thunderbolt, but if I want to cast, it's a fairly high casting cost.
Thunderbolt's not that high, is it?
I think it's a 9.
Is it a 9? That was
I think
an 8.
so. But you can see I'm kind of set up here. My goblins got brave and came out of the house,
Mm-hmm.
peek around, see what was going on.
Say hello to some Grail Knights.
I moved up here, chopped these guys up. And as you can see, I managed to kill one.
Yeah.
Of course, he put 2 wounds on me. About it's half of what I wanted to do. I thought I could get 2, but I rolled fairly low on the impact, and he made good saves.
Yeah, well, you have to roll high and
It's a crapshoot going in like
get your
that.
wounds in, and then he has to, fail his armor and his ward
Ward.
saves.
Correct. Yeah, it's unlikely, but anyway, that's what I was hoping.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a kind of an overall picture of what's going on. The problem now, you can see, is the Knights of the Realm up top can charge past the mounted yeoman
Mm-hmm.
and clip the corner of my orc unit.
Right.
That doesn't scare me. But this unit of 9 Grail Knights down here in the corner, that can hit the flank of my orc unit.
How bad could that be?
And that's the unit that just ran over my spider without...
Yes.
I mean, they got a little lucky. They did get a little lucky in killing it in a single round without it attacking back. But that's going to make a mess of me if that gets in. So when he declares that charge, I flee. Pop through the goblins. Goblins make their check, and they're over here, back here. This big unit up top can't reach them now because the hoppers are in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And since they didn't declare a charge on the hoppers, they cannot, charge them.
Right.
There's another picture of that. He's charged it. So he redirects with them, with the big unit into my troll.
Okay.
Poor troll. I think
So you could kill another Grail Knight along the way.
I think so. And yes. And here the Grail Knights said, well, if we can't charge the orcs, we're going to go kill another war machine. And these guys charged into the woods and ate my boar riders.
Oh, they rallied?
The boar riders, yes.
Yep.
You can see he's cleared off there. Cleared the splatterer off.
What was the thought there? You're just sacrificing him so the wedge would be out of the way?
It was my splatterer. I had
No, the knights that went into the woods on the other side.
Oh, why did he do it?
No.
Oh, I did it. I was hoping I didn't think there was any chance he was going to come into the woods after me.
Oh, okay.
and I just rallied anyway, so all I could do was turn around.
Mhm.
But I didn't think he was going to come after me
I mean,
at all.
when they declared the charge, I mean, you opted not to flee.
Oh, correct. He had other stuff out here he could have sent him
Right.
into,
Mhm.
and I figured at least if he goes this way, like you said, he's
He'll be out of the way for a little while.
out of the way. That one huge block is out of the way.
Yeah.
Not that I can deal with almost any of these blocks at this point.
But the other one has static combat res, so.
Yeah. So you can see here, chariot fights on. He's wiped out my troll. His yeomen have charged into my troll. They did that part of the other charge to get partially out of the way of this big charge block.
I have to say, I kind of like the theme where he's got his Grail Knights. One's like Knights Hospitaller, and the other one's like Knights St. John, like Holy Orders.
Yes,
Yeah.
the uniformed
Yeah.
colors on those. Yeah, I think he's done a really good job on this army. You can see can't see the picture coming through well on this one, but
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not displaying well because it's showing really good over here.
Mhm.
So anyway, so he charged my troll with the mounted yeoman. They actually killed my troll, and overran into my hoppers.
Yeah, that would have been a
My
lot
Dashers.
of ward saves to make.
Yeah.
Regen saves. Sorry.
No, the one over here. I'm talking about the one over here that is
The
that these
yeoman
guys
killed
charged
it.
into. It's
Yeah,
like, what the hell is that? How'd that happen?
Yeah, it's not such a good luck.
I couldn't make a single armor or ward save with
Yeah.
that thing. So, so anyway, so that's what it looks like. You can see he's he's got a commanding position on turn 4.
Yeah, it would seem so.
I've got really
But
nothing.
But you still got a block of goblins.
I do have a block of goblins.
Yeah.
I have a block of goblins
Soon to be zombies.
outside that building, just making very threatening noises.
Yeah.
The Nasher Dashers, of course, make fairly quick work of the mounted yeoman.
So you charged them, and
Yeah, I charged him actually. Now that I think about it, and then overran into this block.
right. And those casualties, is that from those, or is that from shooting?
Casualties
From the Night Wedge?
are from
it's missing
shooting.
2 knights. Okay.
And move my spiders up, and I'm keep just pumping shots into this weak small wedge. I'm not doing much to him. Moving on.
So is that big finger? Is that the finger of the lady?
Yes, that is the finger. It was the it was the old hand of Gork, but the hand of Gork is no longer around. So I had to tell him to go away. Grail Knights with nothing to do since the goblins had gone and hid back in their building again.
Yeah.
Actually, those Grail Knights could have charged the building and just destroyed those goblins with 2 attacks each.
Well, I can send a few in, so
You can send 10.
yeah.
Of course, the downside is he has to send the mage in because you have to send up to 10.
Right.
So I could pick on the mage and kill it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, even then, there's still 4 up armor. It's still
Right.
kind of
But he decides, well, there's another 100 points right there that's free.
sure.
I might as well just knock that off
Yeah.
my list. He's cleaned up the goblin chariot at this point. The Peg Knights came up and helped clean up the the Nasher Dashers. And there's a better picture. You can see the little red showing up under the wings on there.
Yes.
That's the Nasher Dashers still up front.
Okay.
There they are. And there's munching that. There's a lot of pictures. Oh, and now they did not kill me all somehow. I'm not real sure how that happened.
Yeah.
But he didn't kill me, and I fled back to here.
Well, they'd been strength 4, and they wouldn't have had a lot of attacks just because of the you were so
Because
narrow.
they're so narrow, correct. I only had 1 on him, actually.
Yeah.
So then there's another picture to show it, but the Spider Riders up here on the left, on my top of 5, I believe, charge into the back of this Grail Knight bus here.
Hoping to assassinate
There's
the
only
mage.
this is a BSB, 2 Grail Knights, and a mage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just coming in to assassinate the mage.
Mm-hmm.
These 2 guys rally, and you see kind of set up at an angle. They charged in with 5. He killed 2 of me, and the 3 left only managed to put a single wound on the mage. So the assassination attempt fails. Grail Knights turn around, get ready for me.
You're back in the building.
Yeah. I'm not staying out there in that field.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see he's just closing in on me. These knights on the top can't hit those. If he hits this this Dasher Dashers, it's going to be angled off, and miss the orcs.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are going to be too far, and they're like an inch back or half an inch back from the edge of this building. So the Grail Knights down here on the bottom right cannot charge me because he cannot get into my flank.
Mm-hmm.
Better picture of that.
Yeah, it's a rule. I hope
I don't know what to do about it.
8th edition had the same problem.
Yeah.
I can see you, but I can't charge you type of thing.
Right. I'm not sure what to do about it unless you allow them to charge to the front.
Yeah, I think that's what you do. You let them, if they can see you and the aspect that they would normally get occupied by terrain or a unit, that they can then charge you into the other,
Right.
to the side that they can see.
It would probably be a good thing. It would be hard to write the rule, I would think,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it would be a good idea.
But I don't think it'd be that hard to write. You just have to, if it's blocked, then you charge the side that you can see.
Hmm.
You can work out to your advantage or your disadvantage, just depending on how things are. But
So you can see the spiders go on fighting here. They somehow managed to kill a Grail Knight.
yeah,
So now he's down to a single Grail Knight and the Damsel and his BSB in this unit.
well, you get some poison, and you have.
Yeah, but he's going first with all this stuff. At least with his Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway. So, I'm happy with what they tried to do.
Yeah.
And we go on to turn 6. You can see where their spiders are dead. So the remaining 2 Nasher Dashers hop into the unit.
Wow.
They do D3 impact hits and the 4 strength 5 and manage to kill off the remaining Grail Knight and the Damsel.
Oh, there you go.
So look at that. Got some points out of that. And his BSB doesn't kill me in the first round of combat, but bottom of 6th, he knocks me over. Just pushes me down. The other stuff was all, that was the only thing that happened in turn 6.
Right.
He didn't want to charge he could have got a single block maybe into the orcs,
Yeah,
but he didn't think one was going to do it.
with your general in there and
Yeah.
all those strength 5
Spears.
armor piercing,
Yeah.
killing,
He was
lethal
wise.
strike spears, or it's
He
not
was
something you
wise
wanna
not to.
mess with.
But it ended up, he got 1,384 to my 547. Sound crushing for me.
Yeah.
Back to the whole thing with the spider. Just a dumb move with the spider, leaving him hanging out there, not paying attention. So, yeah, things like that makes me
Makes you sad.
makes me sad. Thank you.
Yeah.
Makes me very sad. But no, he played a great game. He didn't take any chances he didn't have to.
Well, he didn't have to fight the one unit that he didn't want to fight. 'Cause
Correct.
It's the one thing Kingdom of Equitaine has a problem with. It's ranked up units.
Right, and he did he did a great job of getting himself into position on the one turn to threaten it, where he
Right.
could have hit it in the flank.
Right.
And had I let that go, I think he would have crushed that unit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so great game to him. At some point, I will do a battle report that I win. But I like practice games and losing. So if I learn how to lose, then I can learn all these mistakes that I can therefore take. No, not buying it. Okay.
I think when you lose, that makes you a loser.
You are absolutely correct, sir.
But hey, we're here for the fun.
I think the next time you see my Orc and Goblin army, the composition is going to be quite a bit different.
Yeah, I would think so.
These were just, again, after Buckeye Battle, I hadn't
Right.
sat down and reformed the army.
Oh, I thought you were going to redo it after.
I am, but
You just haven't done it.
I
Okay.
just haven't done it. I've kind of got the list ready. I just haven't done it.
Right.
But, anyway, thanks for listening. Give us a like or a subscribe if you liked it. And that's it for now.
Till the next time.
We'll be back. Thank you.